okay, I decided I won't film with audio but do a voiceover afterwards instead.
Hello, Editing Ellie here. I just wanted to tell you that I spent the majority of July producing this Skillshare class, but instead of showing you the whole process, because that would be utterly boring, I just wanted to tell you this class is already up and running. It's called Handgestickte Aufnäher, kreiere tragbare Kunst mit Nadelfaden und 3 simplen Stichen. And it's an embroidery class where I show you how to make hand-embroidered patches from scratch. It's in German because I'm a German teacher, so if you understand German or are willing to read subtitles, go into the info box. I linked the class down below. Subscribe to Skillshare. It's an awesome platform to learn all kind of things and take my class. Embroidering is a dear hobby of mine since I started it in 2021. So yeah, I would love for you to discover a new passion. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. I'm rambling. Okay, bye. In a strange little home built into the branches of a grove of trees live 3 robots. Fatherly inventor android Giovanni Lawson, a pleasantly sadistic nurse machine, and a small vacuum desperate for love and attention. Victor Lawson, a human, lives there too. They're a family, hidden and safe. The day Vic salvages and repairs an unfamiliar android labeled Hep, he learns of a shared dark past between Hep and Geo, a past spent hunting humans. In the Lives of Puppets is TJ Klune's newest novel, and since I absolutely devoured The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door, and loved both, I had to read this one. I liked it. Not as much as I liked the other 2, but it was very entertaining and a very cool reinvention of Pinocchio. As in the other 2 books, the characters were 3-dimensional and diverse. My favorite would definitely be Nurse Ratched with her dry humor and girl-bossing attitude. She saved the main character's asses more than once, and I really appreciated that she was a good supportive side character. As for the overall tone, Klune's books often include tender topics like grief, racism and exclusion, as well as queer love and identity. In the Lives of Puppets was the most violent and also the sexiest, comparing it to the other books I read from him. It wasn't smutty, don't get me wrong, but there were a lot of jokes and kinda awkward situations concerning sex and asexuality specifically that felt sometimes more and sometimes less necessary for the story. I mean, I don't mind smut, the opposite actually, but I can imagine that people who aren't looking for it in a TJ Klune book might find it a bit daunting. So, be warned.
HarperCollins presents Paris the Memoir, written and read by Paris Hilton. Prologue. Dr. Edward Hallowell, author of Driven to Distraction, says the ADHD brain is like a Ferrari with bicycle brakes. Powerful, but difficult to control. My ADHD makes me lose my phone, but it also makes me who I am. So if I'm going to love my life, I have to love my ADHD.
Growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, I remember the it girls from that era vividly. Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, and Paris Hilton might have been the most prominent at that time. I watched MTV reality shows and read the pop culture magazines of that time, consuming all sorts of gossip and hot takes. So of course, I listened to Paris the Memoir. I only knew her as the dumb blonde, glitz and glam heiress of a hotel chain fortune. But of course, she's so much more than that, and deep inside just a person with needs like we all are. Okay, she has been and always will be unrelatable, since her circumstances are far from those of the average person. But it was shocking how much I let media form my opinion about someone who I knew absolutely nothing about.
It's our second wedding anniversary today. Cringe. Natürlich darf an unserem Hochzeitstag auch nicht unser Adoptivkind fehlen, das mit uns feiert.
Today's walk is not a walk, but rather visiting friends.
Creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal? You're just a criminal. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say.
Zachary Ezra Rollins is a graduate student in Vermont when he discovers a mysterious book hidden in the stacks. As he turns the pages, entranced by tales of lovelorn prisoners, key collectors, and nameless acolytes, he reads something strange. A story from his own childhood. Bewildered by this inexplicable book and desperate to make sense of how his own life came to be recorded, Zachary uncovers a series of clues. A bee, a key, and a sword that lead him to a masquerade party in New York, to a secret club, and through a doorway to an ancient library hidden far below the surface of the earth. Oh, this book, you guys. I got myself a physical copy after I finished my digital one. And you know that I never buy physical books when they aren't art books, graphic novels, or manga. This was so good. It was so good that I have to read it again. Another rarity for me. I'm not a big repeater in anything, be it shows, films, or books. But this one? Okay, let me try to summarize. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern is a book about books, or stories rather. Yes, there is the plot around Zachary, but the chapters of his adventure alternate with seemingly random stories from the world that Morgenstern created. I liked that, but I didn't think much of it in the beginning. It was a nice change up between Zachary's chapters. However, at some point, I realized that all these random stories intertwine not only with each other, but also with Zachary's story, and that blew my mind. This was so big brain creative, clever, romantic, gripping, fascinating, A tale of lovers, fate and time, parallel universes, bees, keys and swords, mystery, action and romance. You hear it, I'm just listing words together. I'm still flabbergasted. I love this book. Even before I finished it, I knew that it would become one of my all-time favorites. I didn't even care about the ending anymore, which I turned out liking anyways, but read it, please, just read it. It's a big recommendation.
Cutting the power lines, we're done talking about it. Our spark turns into fire, and we're not sorry about it. If you're not sleeping tight, you know we're onto something. You hear the streets are crying, ocean turns into fire. Take it to the streets, get control of the wheel. Take it to the streets, get control of the wheel. Warnings been spread wide, you can't do none to stop it. Posing is bound to fight, but you're only causing riots. Words move from mouth to mouth, justice is also trapping. All the way from north to south, it's been a long time coming. Take it to the streets, get control of the wheel. Take it to the streets.
Mila, mein Kartoffel ist explodiert.